His fingers trace my collarbones so light I can barely feel them, yet my entire body ignites. Love is a fairy tale, he whispers against my neck, but discipline. His grip tightens in my hair, pulling just enough to make me gasp. Discipline is real. I shouldn't crave this, his control, his rules, yet I'm already melting, surrendering to whatever comes next. I first saw him across the crowded gallery, his gaze cutting through the pretentious chatter like a blade, dark eyes that assessed everything, missed nothing. When he approached, I expected small talk. Instead, he simply said, "You're different from the others." No smile, just intensity that made my skin prickle. 3 hours later, his business card burns in my palm. One line handwritten beneath his name: tomorrow, 8 p.m. Say yes or no. I should say no, I won't. His office is exactly what I expected. Minimalist, tasteful, everything in its place. Like him, the receptionist doesn't look up when I enter 8th floor. He's waiting. The elevator ride gives me time to question my sanity. I'm not this type of woman. I don't follow commands from strangers, no matter how magnetic. Yet here I am, pulse racing beneath my carefully chosen blouse, the one that reveals nothing but suggests everything. When the doors open, he's there, leaning against the wall, arms crossed, not smiling. You came. Not a question. I'm still deciding if that was wise. My voice sounds steadier than I feel. Honesty, good. He gestures toward an open door. After you, his office continues. The theme stark, deliberate, controlled, floor-to-ceiling windows frame the city below. No photos, no personal touches, just precise functionality. Sit, he indicates a leather chair across from his desk. I remain standing. Small defiance. Something flickers in his amusement. Approval. He moves to a sideboard, pours 2 glasses of water. No alcohol. Another statement. You're wondering why you're here. He hands me a glass, our fingers brushing. Electric. Intentional. I'm wondering why I accepted your invitation. Because you're curious. Because you sensed something. He sits behind his desk, leaving me standing. I don't waste time with pleasantries or games. Eliza, I saw you. You saw me. There was recognition. Hearing my name in his mouth feels intimate. I never told him my name. You researched me. I know what interests me. His gaze is unwavering. You're accomplished, intelligent, beautiful, obviously, but that's not why we're here. Why are we here? I finally sit, crossing my legs slowly. His eyes don't follow the movement. Impressive restraint. Because you're unsatisfied. I recognized it immediately. You're seeking something you can't name. The accuracy stings. That's presumptuous. Is it wrong? I don't answer. Don't need to. I don't believe in love, Eliza. I believe in clarity, structure, discipline. He leans forward. I believe in pleasure derived from perfect understanding between 2 people. No false promises, no messy emotions, just exquisite control. My mouth goes dry. And you think I want that? I think you've never experienced it. I think you're curious enough to find out. He opens a drawer, removes a folder, slides it across the desk. My terms, my expectations, my limits. His voice drops lower. Read it carefully. Take it home. If you're interested, call the number on the last page. If not, we never need to speak again. I don't touch the folder. You do this often. Then, no, rarely, and never with someone like you. What makes me different? He stands, circles the desk, stops close enough that I can feel his heat. Most people crave discipline because they're weak. You crave it because you're strong. You don't need to be controlled. You need to discover what happens when you choose to give control to someone worthy of it. His fingers brush my cheek, so lightly it might be accidental. It isn't. Take the folder, Eliza. Read it tonight, alone. I take it, clutching it like a lifeline. As I reach the elevator, his voice follows me. One more thing. If you call that number, use this word if things ever go too far. Pine. Say it once. I stop. Say it twice. I untie everything. Say it 3 times. I take you home. The elevator doors close on his expression. Hungry, patient, certain. The folder burns against my chest the entire ride down. The folder sits unopened on my coffee table, accusatory in its simplicity. Black, unmarked, just like him. 3 hours I've been staring at it, wine glass in hand. I'm on my 2nd bottle, and still haven't found the courage. You're being ridiculous, I tell myself. reaching for it. Inside, 5 neatly typed pages, clinical, precise, expectations, laid out in numbered paragraphs, availability, discretion, obedience. The word makes me shiver. 6-week arrangement, with option to renew or terminate. Boundaries clearly delineated what he will and won't do. What I must and mustn't do. No real names exchanged. No contact outside arranged meetings. No emotional entanglements. The last page contains one phone number, nothing else. I closed the folder, cheeks burning. This isn't me. I don't do this. I'm Eliza Winters, respected curator, independent woman. I date normal men who bring flowers and make promises they don't keep. Men who say I love you until they don't. Men who never once make me feel what I felt in that elevator scene, exposed, alive. My phone buzzes. Kate, tell me you didn't go, she says without preamble. Hello to you too, Eliza, that guy from the gallery. Tell me you blew him off. I hesitate too long. Oh my God, you went. What happened? Are you okay? Nothing happened. We talked about. He made a proposition. Jesus, Eliza. Not like that. Well, sort of like that. I'm fumbling for words. It's complicated. It's dangerous, is what it is. Do you even know who he is? I glance at my laptop, browser history filled with searches. Aiden Shaw, 38, real estate developer, divorced, no children, no scandals. He's notorious, Eliza, women talk. He has specific tastes. You know him. I know of him. Carolyn dated his business partner. She said Shaw is brilliant, wealthy, and emotional. Antarctica. He doesn't do relationships. He does arrangements. I touch the folder. Did Caroline say he was cruel? A pause. No. The opposite, actually. She said he was excruciatingly fair, honest to a fault, keeps his word, but he's clear about what he wants and doesn't want. What he doesn't want is love. What he does want is me. At least for 6 weeks. You're actually considering this. Kate sounds incredulous. Am I? My last relationship ended 6 months ago. Tom, sweet, attentive, until he wasn't. I need space, he'd said, which apparently meant I need that barista from 9th Street. Before Tom was Daniel. Before Daniel was Robert. All of them loving until they weren't. All promising forever, delivering temporary. I'm 32, Kate. I'm tired of false advertising. I take another sip of wine. At least Shaw is honest about what he's offering. Control, submission, that's what you're signing up for. The words send an unexpected rush of heat through me. Maybe I need something different. Different is taking a pottery class. Different is not becoming some billionaire's plaything. That's not what this is. What is it then? I don't have an answer that makes sense. How do I explain that when he looked at me? I felt a missing piece click into place. That the thought of his hands on me makes my skin burn. That the simple command sit made me want to kneel. I have to go, Kate. I'll call you tomorrow. I hang up before she can argue further. Outside, rain taps against my windows. The city blurs into watercolor lights. I should be cataloging pieces for next month's exhibition. Instead, I'm contemplating giving 6 weeks of my life to a man who doesn't believe in love. My laptop hums. One more search. Dominance and submission psychology. The articles are revelatory. People seeking structure, craving clear boundaries. The freedom found in controlled surrender. The trust required. The potential for transformation. Is that what I want? Transformation. I think of my life ordered predictable, empty beneath the surface. The loneliness that creeps in at 3 a.m. The yearning for something I can't articulate. I open my text messages. Tom's last one. 4 months ago. I'll always care about you. Liz, I just need something different. Everyone always needs something different. Maybe I do too. The number on the last page of the folder glows on my phone screen. My fingers hover, trembling slightly. I think of Shaw's eyes. Dark, knowing, promising something beyond the tepid connections I've settled for. Before I can reconsider, I press call. 1 ring, 2, 3. You've decided. His voice, low and certain. Not a question. Never a question with him. Yes, my voice sounds foreign to my own ears. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. The address is on page 3. Where something that makes you feel powerful. You'll need to remember that feeling. Until tomorrow, Eliza. The line goes dead. I sit in the silence, wondering what I've just agreed to. wondering who I'll be in 6 weeks, wondering if I'll recognize myself when this is over, or if I'll finally recognize myself for the first time. The address leads to a renovated warehouse in a gentrified industrial district. Tasteful, exclusive, discreet. The building has no signage, just a keypad by the entrance. I punch in the code from page 3, half expecting nothing to happen. The door unlocks with a soft click. I chose a black dress, simple, elegant, high neckline, low back, powerful, as instructed. Yet I've never felt more vulnerable. The elevator requires another code. As I ascend, my heart matches the climbing numbers 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It stops at 11. The doors open directly into a space that steals my breath. Not an apartmentan experience. Soaring ceilings, exposed brick, floored two-ceiling windows, with the city spread below like spilled jewelry. Minimalist furniture in creams and grays, nothing out of place. You're punctual. He emerges from a shadowed corner, dark jeans and charcoal sweater, making him seem part of the architecture. He's barefoot, an unexpected intimacy that throws me off balance. I value time. I respond, proud of my steady voice. As do I. He approaches, circles me slowly, assessing the dress was a good choice. I didn't choose it for you. A slight curve of his lips. That's precisely why it's perfect. He stops before me. Wine, please, follow me. The kitchen is all sleek surfaces and hidden functionality. He pours 2 glasses of red, hands one to me. Our fingers brush, deliberate, like everything about him. Tonight is about establishing parameters, he says, leaning against the counter. No touching, no commands, just understanding. I sip my wine, grateful for something to do with my hands. So talk. First, your questions. I know you have them. He's right. I have dozens. Why me? Because when I saw you, I recognized something familiar. Something hungry. He studies me over his glass. Because you're not easily impressed, but you're deeply curious. Because your eyes followed me across that gallery like you were starving. Heat rises to my cheeks. I wasn't honesty, Eliza. Our first rule. I take another sip. Fine. I was, intrigued. As was I. He sets down his glass. My turn for a question. What do you hope to find here? The directness catches me off guard. I don't know. Try again. I stare into my wine. Something real. Something that doesn't pretend to be forever but is absolutely present. Something that doesn't lie about what it is. Better. He moves closer. Second rule. Presence. When you're here, you're completely here. No distractions. No holding back. And the third rule. Surrender. Not of your will or your agency, but of your need to control everything. His eyes hold mine. I suspect you're tired of always being in control, Eliza. The accuracy is unsettling. In my work, my relationships, my life, I'm always the one holding everything together, always responsible, always contained. What if I can't? The question emerges softer than intended. You can, with the right guidance. He takes my glass, sets it aside. We'll start simply. Sit on the sofa. The instruction is gentle but unmistakably a command. I hesitate, testing the boundaries of this new territory. His expression doesn't change, but something shifts in his eyes. Patience tinged with anticipation. I cross to the sofa, sink into its softness. He remains standing, creating a physical manifestation of our dynamic. Close your eyes. Again, I hesitate, then comply. Describe what you hear. I focus. Traffic, faint. Your breathing. Mine, faster. The hum of the refrigerator. Good. Now what? You feel the sofa, soft but firm. The air conditioning, my heartbeat. What you smell. Your cologne, something woody. Wine, my perfume. Keep your eyes closed. I'm going to move around the room. Track me only with your hearing. I listen to his footsteps. Left, behind me. Right, further away, closer. Where am I? Directly behind me. I answer without hesitation. Good. His voice comes from exactly where I placed him. Open your eyes. I do. He's before me now, looking down with something like approval. That's enough for tonight. Confusion washes over me. But we didn't. Didn't what, Eliza? What were you expecting? I feel foolish suddenly. I don't know. More. This is how we begin. With awareness, presence. He extends his hand. Stand up, I take it, allowing him to pull me to my feet. We're close now. His warmth radiating. Next time will be different, he promises, voice low. If you decide there should be a next time, is that my choice? Always your choice. That's rule 4. You can walk away at any moment. I study his face, searching for deception. Find none. Same time, day after tomorrow, he says. Where's something easier to remove? My breath catches. He notices. Smiles slightly. Good night, Eliza. At the elevator, I turn back. Do you have a first name? Or do I just call you Shaw? He considers me for a long moment. Aiden, but only within these walls. The doors close between us. I exhale fully for what feels like the first time in hours. Nothing happened tonight. Everything happened tonight. I've begun to surrender. I choose a wrap dress for our second meeting. Navy blue silk, one pull of a string and it falls open. The thought makes my skin prickle as I ride the elevator to the 11th floor. This time, the space is different, dimmer. Candles create pools of golden light. Music plays softly. Classical, I can't identify. You came back. Aiden appears, again dressed simply. Dark trousers, white shirt sleeves rolled to expose strong forearms. I did why, I consider lying, offering something glib, but rule 1 echoes in my mind. Honesty. I couldn't stop thinking about it, about what comes next. He nods, satisfied. Good follow. Me, not the living room this time. He leads me down a hallway to another space, smaller, more intimate. A single chair faces a wall of mirrors, nothing else. Sit. I do. In the mirrors, I see us both, me, perched on the edge of the chair. Him, standing behind, commanding the space. Tonight is about touch, he says, meeting my eyes in the reflection. You will remain seated. You will keep your hands on the armrests. You will tell me if anything becomes too much, and if it does, you say pine, and we stop immediately. I nod, heart racing, verbal consent. Eliza, yes, I understand. Good. His hands rest lightly on my shoulders. Even through fabric, his touch burns. Close your eyes. I obey, surrendering my vision. His fingers move to my hair, carefully removing pins until it falls loose around my shoulders. The gentle tug against my scalp sends unexpected pleasure down my spine. Beautiful, he murmurs, gathering my hair, exposing my neck. His breath warms my skin. Seconds before his lips brush the sensitive spot below my ear. A small sound escapes. Me. Too much, he asks. No, I whisper. Not enough. His chuckle is low, dark honey. Patience. His hands trace my shoulders, my collarbones, feather-light touches that make me ache for firmer contact. He circles the chair, fingers trailing across my cheek, jaw, down my throat to rest at the pulse hammering at the base. Your body speaks truth, even when your words might lie, he says, thumb pressing gently against my racing heartbeat. Remember that. I keep my eyes closed, other senses heightening. The sound of his controlled breathing, the scent of his skin, the warmth radiating from his proximity. His fingers encircle my wrist, lifting my hand from the armrest. His thumb traces patterns on my palm, then moves to my inner wrist, pressing lightly against the thin skin there. Did you know, he says, voice academic despite the intimacy of his touch, that in ancient times, they believed a vein ran directly from this spot to the heart. His lips replace his thumb, kissing my pulse point. They called it the the vein of love. I thought you didn't believe in love, I manage, voice unsteady. I believe in biology, chemistry. His teeth graze the sensitive skin, making me gasp. The body's response to stimulus. He returns my hand to the armrest, moves to the other, repeating the careful exploration. Each touch is deliberate, measured, designed to heighten awareness. Open your eyes. I do. In the mirror, I look transformed, flushed, eyes dilated, hair wild. He stands behind me, hands on my shoulders, eyes meeting mine in the reflection. What do you see? Myself, different. How? I search for words. Awakened. His smile is slight but genuine. Good. His fingers move to the nape of my neck, massaging gently. Stand up. I rise on unsteady legs. He turns me to face him, close enough that I feel his heat, not close enough to touch. May I touch your face, Eliza? The formal request makes the moment more intimate, not less. Yes. His hands cup my cheeks, thumbs stroking my cheekbones. I fight the urge to close my eyes again, to lean into his touch like a cat. You're struggling with something, he observes. Tell me. I want to touch you too. Not yet. His voice is gentle but firm. Tonight is about your surrender, not mine. One hand slides into my hair, gripping firmly at the base of my skull. Not painful, but controlling. My breath catches. Does this frighten you? No. What does it make you feel? I search for honesty. Safe, somehow. Something flickers in his eyes, surprise. Perhaps. His grip loosens, hand sliding to the back of my neck, thumb tracing my jaw. Most women feel vulnerable in this position. I feel seen. The admission hangs between us. His expression changes subtly, something unguarded flashing across his features before the control returns. His thumb brushes my lower lip. You continue to surprise me, Eliza. Before I can respond, he steps back, breaking contact. The loss is physical, an emptiness where his touch had been. That's enough for tonight. Disappointment floods me, but I set the pace. His voice allows no argument. Not your desires, not mine. What serves the journey? And what journey is that? Your discovery. He inclines his head toward the door. Same time, 3 days from now, where something that makes you feel beautiful. Underneath, where nothing. Heat floods my cheeks. He notices, smiles. Too much. I straighten my shoulders. No good. He brushes my hair back from my face. A surprisingly tender gesture. Good night, Eliza. In the elevator, I examine my reflection. I look the same. I feel fundamentally altered. His touch lingers like a phantom. Present even in absence. 3 days feels like eternity. 3 days of phantom sensations. His fingers on my wrist. His breath against my neck. His voice in my ear. I'm distracted at work, dropping things, losing my train of thought mid-sentence. Kate notices during our lunch. Earth to Eliza. What's going on with you? I mumble something about a challenging exhibition. She doesn't believe me, but doesn't press. I follow his instructions. A burgundy dress that hugs every curve. Underneath, nothing. The fabric against my bare skin is a constant reminder of what's to come, whatever that might be. When the elevator doors open, the penthouse is transformed again. The furniture has been rearranged. A single chair sits in the center of the living room, facing the windows. Night has fallen, turning the glass into a mirror reflecting the space. Come in. His voice emerges from the darkness. I step forward, scanning the shadows. Stop there. He materializes from a doorway, circling me slowly. Turn around, slowly. I do, feeling his eyes like a physical touch. Beautiful, he says simply. Sit. I move to the chair, suddenly conscious of the emptiness beneath my dress. The fabric pulls slightly as I sit. A whispered reminder. Aiden remains standing, looking down at me. Before we begin tonight, we need to be clear about rules and consequences. Consequences. Every relationship has them, even temporary ones. He moves behind the chair, hands resting on my shoulders. When you break a rule, there will be a response. Do you understand? Yes. My voice is steadier than I feel. Good. We've established 3 rules: honesty, presence, surrender. Tonight we add a 4th, obedience. The word sends a shiver through me. Not blind obedience, he clarifies, fingers stroking my neck. Considered obedience. You will always have the choice to disobey. But choices have consequences. What kind of consequences? His hands slide into my hair, gripping gently. Depends on the infraction. Minor disobedience might mean denial of pleasure. More serious defiance could mean the end of our arrangement. And if I follow the rules? He leans down, lips brushing my ear. Rewards beyond your imagination. My body responds instantly. Skin warming, breath quickening. Now, he straightens, circling to face me. Stand up. I obey, watching his face. Turn around. Again, I comply. I'm going to blindfold you. Do I have your consent? My heart hammers. Yes. Soft fabric covers my eyes, plunging me into darkness. His fingers brush my neck as he secures it too tight. No. Good. His voice comes from behind me now. I'm going to touch you. If anything becomes too much, remember your word, Pine. I whisper. Exactly. His hands settle on my shoulders. Now, listen carefully. I'm going to ask you to do something. You can choose to obey or refuse. There is no wrong choice, only consequences. Do you understand? Yes. His hands slide down my arms. Reach back and find the tie of your dress. I hesitate. That's your first choice. Eliza, hesitation. His voice remains gentle. Try again. Reach back and find the tie. I do, fingers trembling slightly as they locate the small bow at my waist. Untie it. Another hesitation, briefer this time. Then I pull the string, feeling the dress loosen. Let it fall. This time I don't hesitate. I release the fabric, feeling it slither down my body to pool at my feet. The cool air raises goosebumps across my exposed skin. Step forward. I do, leaving the dress behind. Standing naked except for the blindfold, I've never felt more vulnerable, or more alive. His fingertips trail down my spine. Featherlight, beautiful, he murmurs. Now, your second choice. You can remain here, or you can say your word and we stop immediately. I want to stay, I whisper. Good. The approval in his voice warms me. Put your hands behind your back. I comply. Soft rope wraps around my wrists, not tight, but secure. Still comfortable? Yes. Tell me if that changes. His hands guide me forward. 5 steps. I follow his direction, hyper-aware of my nudity, my bound hands, my complete vulnerability. Stop. His voice is directly before me now. Kneel. This is different, more intimate, more exposing. I sink to my knees slowly. Perfect. His voice has roughened slightly. You're doing beautifully, Eliza. Pride floods me at his praise. I'm pleasing him. The realization brings unexpected joy. I'm going to remove your blindfold. Keep your eyes closed until I tell you to open them. The fabric slides away. I keep my eyes shut as instructed. Open. I do. He kneels before me, eyes dark with desire, but expression controlled. Behind him, the city twinkles through the windows. I'm naked, bound, kneeling before a fully clothed man. I should feel humiliated. Instead, I feel powerful. What do you feel right now? He asks. Strong, I answered truthfully. His smile is genuine. Good, that's the point, Eliza. True submission comes from strength, not weakness. He stands, circles behind me. His fingers trace my shoulders, my bound wrists. For your obedience, a reward. His lips brush my shoulder, then trail to my neck. One hand slides around to cup my breasts, thumb circling the nipple until it hardens. A soft moan escapes me. Beautiful, he murmurs against my skin. But not tonight. He steps away, and I make a small sound of protest. Patience, Eliza. This is just the beginning. He unties my wrists with gentle efficiency. Stand up. I do, legs slightly unsteady. He retrieves my dress, holds it for me to step into. Tonight was about establishing boundaries, testing your willingness to surrender. He secures the dress around me. You did perfectly, but we didn't. Didn't what? His eyebrow raises. I flush. Nothing. Honesty. Remember. I thought we would go further. We will, when the time is right. He turns me to face him. Anticipation is part of the journey. His hand cups my cheek, thumb brushing my lower lip. Then, unexpectedly, he leans forward and presses his lips to mine. The kiss is brief but intense, a promise of what's to come. 3 days, he says, pulling back. Come wearing the blue dress from our first meeting. And Eliza, yes, prepare yourself for more. Much more. 3 days pass in a haze of anticipation. I dream of his hands, his voice, his control. I wake tangled in sheets, body aching for release. Twice I nearly cancel our arrangement, frightened by the intensity of my need. Twice I remind myself of the safe word, the power I still hold. When I arrive, the elevator opens to darkness, save for a single lamp illuminating a path through the penthouse. I follow it to a door I haven't seen before. A note is pinned there. Enter, undress completely, kneel at the center of the room. Wait, I hesitate, hand on the doorknob. This is different, more demanding. I could leave now, return to my ordered, predictable life. I open the door. The room beyond is softly lit by scattered candles, minimalist like the rest of the penthouse, but with purpose evident in its design. A large bed dominates one wall. Various implements hang on another rope. Blindfolds, things I don't recognize. A plush rug covers the center of the floor. I undress slowly, folding my clothes neatly on a chair. Naked, I move to the center of the room, kneel on the rug as instructed. The position feels less foreign now, almost natural. Minutes pass. 15. My mind wanders, then focuses. I become acutely aware of my breathing, my heartbeat, the air against my skin. Is this part of the test, teaching me patience? The door opens behind me. I resist the urge to turn. Perfect. Aiden's voice wraps around me, exactly as I imagined. He circles into view, dressed in black trousers and a gray shirt. His eyes travel over me, appreciation evident. How do you feel, Eliza? Exposed, expectant, good, honesty. He kneels before me, our faces level. Tonight is significant. We move deeper. Are you certain you want this? Yes. No hesitation now. He studies me, searching for doubt, finding none. He nods. Stand. I rise, fighting the urge to cover myself. Arms at your sides, he instructs. You have nothing to hide from me. I obey, letting my arms fall loose. Tonight, he says, circling me slowly, is about surrender. Not just of your body, but of your control. He stops behind me, close enough that I feel his warmth. I'm going to bind you, expose you, push you. At any point, you can use your word. Do you consent? Yes. His hands settle on my shoulders, squeezing gently. Good. He guides me to the wall where implements hang, selects a length of deep blue rope. Hands in front of you, wrists together. I comply. He binds my wrists with elegant efficiency, the rope firm but not painful. Too tight. I test the bonds. No. Good. He leads me to the bed. Lie down. Center of the bed. Arms above your head. I do as instructed. The cool sheets, a contrast to my heated skin. He secures my bound wrists to the headboard, then steps back, studying his work. Beautiful. His voice has deepened. Do you know how you look right now, Eliza? I shake my head. Like a fantasy come to life. He sits beside me on the bed, one hand resting lightly on my stomach. But this isn't about fantasy. This is about reality. Your reality. What you truly desire beneath all the social constraints. His hand slides upward, between my breasts, along my throat, to cup my cheek. Close your eyes. I do. His weight shifts on the bed, then his lips press against mine, gentle at first, then more insistent. Unlike our previous brief kiss, this one deepens, his tongue seeking entrance. I open to him, a small sound escaping me. His hand tangles in my hair, gripping firmly as the kiss intensifies. His other hand explores my body, tracing patterns across my skin that leave fire in their wake. When he finally pulls back, we're both breathing harder. Keep your eyes closed, he murmurs. The bed shifts as he moves. I feel him settle between my legs, his clothed body a tantalizing pressure. His lips trace my jaw, my neck, moving lower to my collarbone, my breasts. When his mouth closes around my nipple, I arch upward, a gasp escaping me. Responsive, he murmurs against my skin. Perfect. His exploration continues, methodical yet passionate, teeth grazing sensitive flesh. Fingers tracing inner thighs, lips mapping every inch of exposed skin. Each touch builds the tension coiling inside me. Please, I whisper, straining against my bonds. Please, what? His voice is controlled despite his evident desire. Touch me. I am touching you. His hand slides up my inner thigh, stopping just short of where I need him. Be specific, Elisa. Part of surrender is voicing your desires without shame. Heat floods my cheeks. This is part of the lesson, articulating need. Touch me between my legs. I manage. Please, good girl. His fingers finally find that spot, circling slowly. Open your eyes. I want to see you. I do, meeting his gaze as his fingers work their magic. His expression is intense, focused entirely on my pleasure. This isn't clinical. This is connection. Beautiful, he murmurs as my breathing quickens. Let go, Elisa. Surrender to it. The tension builds, crests, breaks. I cry out, back arching, pulling against my bonds as waves of pleasure crash through me. Through it all, his eyes hold mine, witnessing my complete vulnerability. As I come down, trembling, he unties my wrists, massaging them gently. Then he gathers me against him, one hand stroking my hair. You did beautifully, he murmurs. But you didn't. Tonight wasn't about me. He presses a kiss to my forehead. It was about showing you what surrender feels like, what it can give you. I curl against him, suddenly exhausted. What happens now? Now you rest. His arms tighten around me. And next time, we go deeper. When 3 days, his voice rumbles beneath my ear. Always eager, he adds, a smile in his voice. Will you stay? The question surprises even me. A hesitation. Then, yes. For a while, I drift toward sleep, wrapped in his arms, feeling strangely safe despite my complete surrender. The last thing I remember is his voice, so quiet I might have dreamed it. You're dangerous, Eliza Winters. Everything changes in the morning. Not because I wake alone, I expected that, but because reality crashes back with the ping of my phone. 27 messages from Kate, 3 missed calls from my mother, a text from my boss, where is the Harrington catalog, board meeting tomorrow. I've been living in a bubble of sensation, forgetting the world outside exists. Now it demands attention. The Harrington exhibition opens in 2 weeks. The catalog needs final approval. My mother's birthday dinner is tonight. How could I forget? I dress hastily, find a note on the kitchen counter in precise handwriting, coffee in the pot. Door locks automatically. 3 days. Oh no, softness. No acknowledgement of what happened between us. Just instructions. As always, by noon, I'm drowning. The catalog has errors. A piece has arrived damaged. The board wants changes that will require all night. And my mother keeps calling, hurt that I forgot about dinner. By 3, I'm fighting tears of frustration. By 5, I've made a decision. I need space, time to breathe, to think. I text him. Need to postpone. Work crisis. His response comes immediately. Unacceptable. Our arrangement is non-negotiable. Something snaps inside me. I type. My life exists outside our arrangement. 3 days becomes 5. No response. I bury myself in work. Stay at the gallery until midnight, fixing the catalog. Sleep for hours. Return before dawn to oversee the arrival of the final pieces. Apologized profusely to my mother. Promise a makeup dinner. When I finally return to my apartment after 36 hours of crisis management, I'm exhausted beyond measure. I kick off my shoes, ready to collapse. A knock at my door. I know who it is before I open it. Aiden stands in the hallway, expression unreadable, dark suit, pristine tie, nothing like the man who held me as I fell asleep. How did you find my address? I demand. I have resources. He steps forward. I don't move. That's invasive. You broke our agreement. I postponed. There's a difference. His eyes narrow slightly. May I come in? I consider refusing. Instead, I step aside. He enters, surveys my apartment with a quick glance. His gaze returns to me, taking in my rumpled clothes, the exhaustion evident on my face. You look terrible, he says bluntly. Thanks. Just what every woman wants to hear. I prefer honesty to flattery. Well, honestly, I've had 2 days from hell. I sink onto my sofa. The exhibition I'm curating is in crisis. My boss is breathing down my neck. I forgot my mother's birthday. And then you acted like I'd committed treason by asking for a rain check. Something shifts in his expression. Explain the situation. So I do. The damaged artwork, the catalog errors, the board's last-minute demands. As I speak, he listens intently, face impassive but attentive. When I finish, he nods once. I see. Do you? Because your text suggested otherwise. I dislike disruptions to established parameters. Life is disruption, Aiden. It's messy and unpredictable, and doesn't follow schedules. He's silent for a long moment. Then, surprisingly, he sits beside me on the sofa. You're right. I blink, thrown by his concession. I reacted, inflexibly. He continues. It's a pattern I'm aware of. This glimpse behind his controlled facade intrigues me. Why are you like this? So rigid about rules and schedules. He considers the question longer than necessary. Control provides certainty. Certainty provides safety. Safety from what? His jaw tightens. That's not relevant to our arrangement. I study him perfectly composed yet somehow fragile in this moment. What if I want it to be relevant? That would be unwise. He stands abruptly. You need rest. I'll leave you to it, Aiden. I catch his wrist, feel the tension in him. Stay. He looks down at my hand on his wrist, then at me. Why? Because I'm exhausted and stressed and ... I trail off, uncertain how to articulate what I want. And his voice has softened. And when you held me the other night, I felt peaceful. For the first time in I don't know how long. Something flickers in his eyes, vulnerability quickly masked. That's not part of our arrangement. Maybe it should be. He hesitates, clearly torn between his rules and something else, something deeper. Just sleep, I clarify. I'm too exhausted for anything else. After a long moment, he nods. Very well. I lead him to my bedroom, suddenly self-conscious of its disorder. He says nothing about the clothes draped over chairs, the books stacked on the nightstand. I need a shower, I say. Make yourself comfortable. When I emerge in pajama shorts and a tank top, hair damp, He's removed his jacket, tie, and shoes, still fully dressed otherwise, sitting on the edge of my bed, looking distinctly out of place. You can take off more than that, I say, climbing under the covers. I promise not to attack you in your sleep. A ghost of a smile touches his lips. I'm comfortable enough. He stretches out beside me, on top of the covers, maintaining separation. I turn off the lamp, plunging the room into darkness. For several minutes, we lie in silence. Then, hesitantly, his arm extends, an invitation. I move closer, resting my head on his chest. His arm wraps around me, hands settling warm against my back. This isn't just physical for me, I murmur into the darkness. I need you to know that his body tenses slightly. Eliza, I'm not declaring love or anything dramatic, I'm just saying. There's more happening than what was in your folder of terms. His silence stretches so long, I think he won't respond. Then, so quietly, I almost miss it. I know. Does that frighten you? Another long pause. Yes. The admission, so honest and unguarded, touches something deep inside me. I press closer, feeling his heartbeat against my cheek. We can figure it out, I whisper. Together. His hand strokes my hair, a soothing rhythm. Sleep, Eliza. You're exhausted. I am. Between one breath and the next, I'm drifting off, secure in his arms. I wake alone, sunlight streaming through curtains I forgot to close. For a moment, I wonder if I dreamed his presence. Then I see the note on the pillow. Beside me, 5 days becomes 3. Rest, work, I'll wait. Beneath his signature, something added almost as an afterthought. Thank you for the peace. I pressed the note to my chest, smiling despite my exhaustion. Something has shifted between us. Rules bent, walls beginning to crumble. I wonder if he's as terrified as I am. 3 days pass in a whirlwind of work. The catalog goes to print. The damaged artwork is restored. The board approves the exhibition layout. I make peace with my mother over lunch. Through it all, Aiden's note remains on my nightstand. I read it each night before sleep claims me, wondering what awaits when our 3 days end. When I arrive at his penthouse, something is different. Music plays, not classical this time, but something modern with a hypnotic beat. The lighting is dimmer, more intimate. Wine breathes on the counter. And Aden's different too, still impeccably dressed in dark trousers and a charcoal shirt, but his feet are bare again, his hair slightly tousled. Less perfect, more human. You look better, he says, handing me a glass of wine. Amazing what sleep can do. I accept the glass, our fingers brushing. Thank you for understanding. I'm trying to be flexible. The word sounds foreign on his tongue. A novel concept for you. A slight smile. Evidently, we stand close, something unspoken hovering between us. The dynamic has shifted. His unexpected appearance at my apartment, his vulnerability in the darkness, my body against his, none of it was in his carefully structured plan. What happens now? I ask. That depends on you. He takes my wine glass, sets it aside. Tonight can proceed as originally intended, or we can renegotiate terms. What were your original intentions? His eyes darken. To take you further than before. To show you pleasure beyond what you've experienced. Heat rushes through me. And the alternative? We talk. Establish new parameters that account for ... recent developments. Recent developments being the fact that I came to your apartment, that we shared a bed without sex, that I'm finding it increasingly difficult to maintain professional detachment. His honesty is startling. I step closer. What if I want both? The pleasure and the new parameters. His expression remains controlled, but his eyes betray him dire uncertainty, something deeper, dangerous territory. Eliza, I'm discovering I like danger. He studies me for a long moment, then nods once. Decision made. Come with me. He leads me not to the bedroom from before, but to another room. This one is simpler, a large bed, soft lighting, no implements on the walls, more intimate somehow, less performative. Undress, he says, voice low. I do, no hesitation now. His eyes follow each movement, appreciation evident in his gaze. When I stand naked before him, he circles me slowly. Perfect, he murmurs. Your turn, I say, surprising myself with my boldness. He raises an eyebrow. That wasn't the arrangement. New parameters, remember. For a moment, I think he'll refuse. Then, with deliberate movements, He begins unbuttoning his shirt. I watch, transfixed, as he reveals himself inch by inch. His chest is sculpted, lightly, dusted with dark hair. A scar curves along his right ribs, a story for another time. He stops at his trousers, eyes questioning. All of it, I whisper. He complies, removing his remaining clothing with efficient movements. His body is magnificent, strong, lean, powerful, aroused, satisfied. There's a hint of vulnerability in the question. Very. I step forward, place my palm against his chest, feel his heartbeat racing beneath my fingers. Now what? Now I show you pleasure. He guides me to the bed. Lie down, center of the bed. I comply, watching as he retrieves something from a drawer. Silk scarves. May I bind your wrists again? Yes. He secures my arms above my head, the silk cool against my skin. Then he stretches out beside me, propped on one elbow, free hand hovering above my body. I'm going to touch you, Eliza, everywhere, until you can't think, can't speak, can only feel. His voice has deepened, roughened with desire. If anything becomes too much pine, I finish, I remember. His hand finally makes contact, tracing patterns across my skin. Tell me what you want. Everything. A smile curls his lips. Specific, Eliza. Articulate your desires. I swallow hard. I want your mouth on me. Where? Heat floods my cheeks. Everywhere. My breasts. Between my legs. Better. He lowers his head, lips brushing my collarbone, then trailing lower. What else? I gasp as his mouth closes around my nipple. I want to touch you too. He looks up, eyes dark. Next time. Tonight is still about your surrender. His exploration continues, methodical yet passionate. Lips, teeth, tongue, mapping my body with exquisite precision. When he finally settles between my thighs, I'm already trembling with need. The first touch of his tongue against me tears a cry from my throat. He's skilled, devastatingly so, varying pressure and pattern, until I'm arching against my bonds, desperate for release. Please, I gasp. Aiden, please. He lifts his head, eyes meeting mine. Please, what? Let me come. Not yet. He slides up my body, positions himself between my legs. First, tell me what you feel. Desperate, I manage. Needy, beyond the physical. I understand what he's asking. Safe, I whisper. Seen. Wanted. Something flickers in his eyes, satisfaction, but also something deeper. Yes, he brushes hair from my face with unexpected tenderness. I'm going to enter you now. Do I have your consent? Yes. God, yes. He reaches between us, guiding himself to my entrance. Then, with excruciating slowness, he pushes forward, filling me completely. We both freeze, overwhelmed by the sensation. His forehead rests against mine, breath mingling. Eliza, he whispers, my name, a prayer on his lips. Then he begins to move, setting a rhythm that builds steadily. One hand reaches up to untie my wrists, allowing me to touch him, at last. My fingers dig into his shoulders, trace the muscles of his back, urge him closer, deeper. Look at me, he commands, as the tension builds. Stay with me. I do, losing myself in his gaze as pleasure spirals higher. When release finally comes, it crashes through me with unprecedented force. I cry out his name, nails digging into his skin. He follows moments later, his controlled facade finally cracking as he shudders against me. Within me, my name a broken sound on his lips. Afterward, he gathers me close, one hand stroking my hair, the other tracing patterns on my bare back. Neither of us speaks, lost in the afterglow. Finally, he breaks the silence. That wasn't according to plan. I prop myself up to see his face. Too spontaneous for you. Too, intimate. His expression is thoughtful. This arrangement was supposed to remain detached. Is that still what you want? He considers the question. Carefully, I'm not sure what I want anymore. The admission seems to cost him. I lay my head on his chest, listening to his heartbeat. We could figure it out together. His arms tighten around me. Perhaps it's not a declaration of love, not even close. But from Aiden Shaw, it's revolutionary. Stay, I murmur, already drifting toward sleep. I will, he promises, pressing a kiss to my forehead, in the space between wakefulness and dreams. I realize something has fundamentally changed. What began as an arrangement is becoming something neither of us anticipated. Something dangerous. Something real. Morning comes with subtle shifts. He's still beside me when I wake first. his arm draped possessively across my waist, his breathing deep and even. I study him in sleep, defenses lowered, looking younger, a small crease between his brows even in repose, fighting demons even in dreams. I traced the line with my finger, wanting to smooth it away. His eyes open instantly, awareness returning in seconds. No groggy transition, just off and on. You stayed, I murmur. I said I would. He sits up, running, a hand through tousled hair. Coffee? Such a mundane question after last night's intimacy. Please. He rises, pulls on his trousers with efficient movements, padding barefoot to the kitchen. I watch him move, admiring the fluid grace of his body, the play of muscles beneath skin. I wrap myself in his discarded shirt, follow him. In the kitchen, he works with precision, measuring coffee, heating water. I perch on a stool, watching this domestic side of him. You do this often? I ask. Make coffee for women, the morning after. His hands pause briefly. No, so, I'm special. Half-serious. He turns, expression unreadable. You single quotes, unexpected. In what way? He considers the question as he pours water into the press. You challenge me. Is that good or bad? Uncomfortable? He presses the plunger slowly, but perhaps necessary. He pours 2 cups, slides one toward me. Our fingers brush as I accept it. Why don't you believe in love? The question emerges before I can reconsider. His expression closes. That's not relevant to our arrangement. I think it is. I meet his gaze steadily, especially after last night. He turns away, staring out at the city below. Love is a fantasy people create to explain biochemical reactions and societal conditioning. That's clinical, not personal. His jaw tightens. My personal history is not open for discussion. Even after I've been more vulnerable with you than anyone in my life. A muscle in his cheek twitches. He remains silent. Something happened. I press gently. Someone hurt you. This conversation is over. His voice is cold, controlled. I should stop. Respect his boundaries. Instead, I take a risk. I think you're scared. I set down my cup. Not of pain or rejection. You're scared that you might be wrong about love. That it might be real after all. He turns, eyes flashing. Enough. Tell me I'm wrong. For a moment, I think he might ask me to leave. Instead, he exhales slowly, control reasserting itself. My parents had what most would call a great love story, he says finally, voice flat. Childhood sweethearts, married young, devoted, until my father developed early onset Alzheimer's at 42. I stay silent, sensing the importance of this revelation. My mother cared for him at home, watched the man she loved disappear piece by piece. On his good days, he recognized her, loved her. On his bad days, he accused her of being an imposter, become a villain, cruel. His voice remains detached, but his knuckles whitened around his cup. I was 15. Watching her sacrifice everything, for someone who didn't even know her name half the time. That must have been horrible for you both. 3 years of that. Then one night, he had a moment of clarity, recognized her, told her he loved her, always had. His expression darkens. The next morning, she found him in the garage. He'd hanged himself. My breath catches. Aiden, I'm so sorry. The note said he'd rather die knowing who she was than live forgetting her. Said it was an act of love. His voice turns bitter. Love didn't save him, or her, or me. What happened to your mother? She never recovered. Physically present but emotionally gone. A ghost. He sets down his cup with careful precision. So, you see, Eliza, I've witnessed true love. It's destructive, irrational, it ruins lives. I move to him, touch his arm gently. He doesn't pull away. That wasn't love's fault, I say softly. That was illness, tragedy, semantics. No, your father's disease wasn't love's failure, and his suicide wasn't love's triumph. It was desperation, mental illness. His jaw tightens. You weren't there. No, but I know this. Closing yourself off doesn't protect you. It just guarantees you'll never experience the good along with the bad. There is no good that's worth that kind of pain. I cup his face, make him look at me. There's you and me, right now. That feels pretty good. Something flickers in his eyes and longing. I don't know how to do this, he admits, voice low. Do what? Feel ... something. For someone, without control, without boundaries. My heart stutters at this near admission. We can figure it out together. He studies me, searching for something. Why? Because when I'm with you, I feel more alive than I ever have. I trace his jawline with my thumb. Because you see me the real me, not what I pretend to be. Because what's happening between us is worth exploring, even if it's scary. For a long moment, he's silent. Then he turns his face, presses a kiss to my palm. Our arrangement was supposed to be 6 weeks, he says. We're halfway through. And after, I don't know. His honesty is disarming. I've never wanted a after before. He pulls me against him, arms encircling me, face buried in my hair. I hold him, feeling the tension in his body, understanding the significance of this moment. A man who doesn't believe in love, struggling with feelings he never wanted. A woman who's always believed in love, finding it in the most unexpected place. We stand there in the morning light, neither speaking, both aware that everything has changed. The revelation of Aiden's past changes things between us, though neither acknowledges it directly. We maintain our scheduled meetings every 3 days, but the dynamic shifts. The dominance and submission remain, but with an undercurrent of something deeper, something unplanned. A week passes in this new reality. During our 5th meeting, he takes me to heights I never imagined possible, pushing boundaries with exquisite control. Blindfolded, restrained, every sense heightened. I surrender completely to his mastery. But afterward, he holds me differently, whispers things that contradict his philosophy, stays until morning. On our 6th meeting, I arrive to find him distracted, tense. He tries to hide it, but I've learned to read the subtle signs, the tightness around his eyes, the way his fingers drum against his thigh. What's wrong? I ask as he pours wine. Nothing relevant to our evening. Try again. With honesty this time, his lips quirked, amused despite himself. Work issue. A development project facing opposition. Tell me, he hesitates, unused to sharing his burdens. It's a redevelopment in the Harbor District. Historical building. I want to preserve the facade, convert the interior to mixed-use space. Local Preservation Society is fighting it. Why? They want it restored exactly as it was, a factory that hasn't operated in 50 years. Economically unfeasible. His frustration bleeds through. They don't understand that preservation without purpose is just slow decay. I touch his arm. Show me your plans. He studies me, then nods, retrieves his laptop, opens detailed renderings of a beautiful red brick building transformed into something both historic and modern. It's stunning, I say, genuinely impressed. You respect the original architecture while giving it new life. Exactly. His expression softens. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. Have you shown the Preservation Society these renderings? Explained your vision? My team has submitted everything through proper channels. No, I mean, have you personally met with them? Shared your passion for this building? He frowns. That's not how business is done. Maybe it should be. I close the laptop. Sometimes people need to see the human behind the corporation, the vision behind the proposal. He considers this, head tilted slightly. Perhaps now, I say, stepping closer. Are we going to spend the evening discussing urban development, or did you have other plans for me? His eyes darken. Other plans, definitely. What follows is different from previous encounters. The dominance remains, but there's a tenderness that wasn't there before. Each command is softer, each touch lingers. When he binds my wrists, he kisses. The pulse points first. When he blindfolds me, he whispers reassurances. Later, as we lie tangled together, his fingers trace patterns on my back. Next time, he says quietly, I want to try something different. What? I want you to take control. I prop myself up, searching his face. Really? Yes. His expression is serious. I want to give you what you've given me. Surrender. The significance of this isn't lost on me. For Aiden, control is safety. Surrendering it is the ultimate vulnerability. Are you sure? No. His honesty makes me smile, but I want to try, with you. I kiss him softly. Thank you for trusting me. He pulls me closer, says nothing more, but his arms tighten around me, a physical acknowledgement of my words. 3 days later, I return to find the penthouse transformed. Candles everywhere, soft music, rose petals leading to the bedroom. Aiden waits there, tension evident in his posture, despite the romantic setting. Too much? He asks, a rare uncertainty in his voice. It's beautiful. I approach him slowly, but nervous doesn't suit you. I've never done this before, been on the receiving end, created a romantic setting. His admission surprises me. I've never wanted to before. My heart stutters. And now I want to give you everything. He takes my hand, including this. He presses something into my palm. I look down to find a silk blindfold and a length of soft rope. Your turn, he says quietly. I swallow hard, suddenly nervous. I don't know if I can do what you do. I don't have your experience or skill. I don't expect you to. His fingers brush my cheek. Just be you. That's all I want. The reversal of our roles is dizzying. I take a deep breath, find my center. Undress, I say, testing the authority in my voice. He complies immediately, movements efficient but not hurried. When he stands naked before me, I circle him slowly, admiring his perfect form. Lie on the bed, arms above your head. Again, he obeys without hesitation. I secure his wrists to the headboard, careful not to bind too tightly, too uncomfortable. No, I place the blindfold over his eyes, noticing the quickening of his breath. Remember your word, Pine, he confirms. Say it if you need to. No shame in that. With his sight removed, his other senses heightened. I see it in the way he tilts his head, tracking my movements by sound, in the way his skin prickles when I blow gently across it without touching. I take my time exploring him as he's explored me, learning the planes and angles of his body, discovering what makes his breath catch, what draws a rare sound from his throat. When I finally take him in my mouth, his control fractures, his back arches, a groan escaping him. I use everything he's taught me about pleasure, about building sensation, about denial and reward. Eliza, he gasps, straining against his bonds. Please. Hearing him beg sends heat coursing through me. Please, what? I need you. I release him, move up his body to straddle him like this. Yes, God, yes. I guide him inside me, setting a slow pace that gradually builds. His head falls back, throat exposed, utterly vulnerable. I lean down, kiss that exposed skin, whisper against it. You're beautiful like this. Surrendered. His hips buck upward, seeking deeper connection. I increase the pace, feeling my own pleasure spiral higher. Look at me, I say, removing his blindfold. Stay with me. His eyes find mine, dark with desire and something deeper, something he's not ready to name. We find release together, crying out in unison, bodies locked in perfect connection. Afterward, I untie him, massage his wrists as he's done for me. His eyes never leave my face. Thank you, he says simply. I curl against him, head on his chest. For what? For showing me there's another way to be. His arms tighten around me. For making me feel safe enough to let go. The words hang between us, heavy with implication. Neither of us ready to define what's happening. Both of us aware it's far beyond our original arrangement. I press a kiss to his chest, directly over his heart. Feel its steady beat beneath my lips. For now, this is enough. This moment, this connection. Tomorrow, we'll face what it means. The Harrington exhibition opens to critical acclaim. The gallery buzzes with art world elites, critics, collectors. I float between groups, discussing pieces, answering questions, basking in the success of months of work. Magnificent curation. An older gentleman tells me, champagne flute tilting dangerously in his gesturing hand. The juxtaposition of the early works with the final series' brilliant commentary on mortality. Thank you, I smile, accepting the compliment with practiced grace. Harrington's evolution deserves to be understood in context. My gaze drifts to the entrance as I speak. I've been watching all evening, though I pretend otherwise. He didn't confirm he would come. Said he had a meeting that might run late, but part of me hopes. The crowd shifts. And suddenly, he's there. Aiden, immaculate in a tailored black suit, commanding attention without effort. Several heads turn as he enters, women and men alike drawn to his presence. Our eyes meet across the Gallerian echo of our first encounter. This time, his lips curve slightly, a private smile meant only for me. He doesn't approach immediately. Instead, he moves through the exhibition methodically, studying each piece with genuine interest. I continue my duties, hyper-aware of his location at every moment. Ms. Winters, my assistant, appears at my elbow. The Times critic would like a word. I'm pulled into another conversation, another explanation of curatorial choices. When I look up again, Aiden has vanished. Disappointment washes through me. Then a voice behind me, low and intimate. Impressive work. I turn to find him there, 2 champagne flutes in hand. He offers one to me. Thank you. I accept the glass. Our fingers, brushing. I wasn't sure you'd make it. I rescheduled. His gaze is intense, focused solely on me despite the crowded room. This is important to you. The simple acknowledgement warms me more than the champagne. In his world of rigid schedules and non-negotiable meetings, he made an exception. For me. What do you think? I gestured toward the exhibition. I think you've captured something essential about the artist's journey. His assessment is thoughtful, specific. The progression from controlled technique to emotional expressionism, it's powerful. I stare at him, surprised by his insight. You know art, I know quality, he corrects. And passion. Both are evident here. A throat clears beside us. Kate stands there, eyes narrowed with curiosity. Aren't you going to introduce me to your friend Eliza? Her emphasis on friend is subtle but unmistakable. Of course. Kate Hunter, this is Aiden Shaw. Aiden. Kate is my oldest friend and the gallery's marketing director. They shake hands, assessing each other. Kate's expression says she hasn't forgotten our conversation about him. Aiden's reveals nothing. Enjoying the exhibition, Mr. Shaw? Kate asks. Very much. Eliza has a remarkable eye. She does. Kate agrees. For art, anyway. The implication hangs in the air. Aiden's lips quirk. For many things, I suspect. Before Kate can respond, a tall blonde approaches, placing a manicured hand on Aiden's arm. Aiden Shaw, she purrs. I didn't expect to see you at an art opening. His posture stiffens imperceptibly. Vanessa, how are you? Neglected. She pouts prettily. You never returned my calls after that benefit dinner. I watched their interaction, an unfamiliar emotion curling in my stomach. Jealousy. I realize with surprise. I've never been the jealous type. I've been busy. Aiden replies, tone cooling several degrees. Vanessa finally notices me. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I interrupting? Not at all, I say with professional courtesy. Eliza Winters, curator, Vanessa Trenton. Aiden and I are old friends. Her smile is calculated. Very old friends. Aiden's jaw tightens. Vanessa was just leaving. Was I? She raises a perfect eyebrow. I thought perhaps we could catch up, for old time's sake. Before Aiden can respond, another man appears, slipping his arm possessively around Vanessa's waist. There you are, he says. I've been looking everywhere. James. Aiden's greeting is clipped. I didn't realize you were in town. Just flew in yesterday. James glances between Aiden and me, curiosity evident. Won't you introduce us to your companion? Eliza Winters, Aiden says, something protective entering his tone. Eliza, this is James Harlow, my former business partner. The tension between the men is palpable. Pleasure, James says, extending his hand. Likewise, I shake it briefly. Eliza is the curator of this exhibition. Aiden explains, pride evident in his voice. James's eyebrows rise. Impressive. And how did you two meet? Before I can answer, Aiden places his hand at the small of my back. Eliza showed me that art can convey truths words cannot. His gaze holds mine. She's been quite educational. The possessive gesture isn't lost on anyone. Vanessa's smile tightens. James looks intrigued. Kate watches with undisguised interest. Well, Vanessa says brightly, we should circulate. Lovely to meet you, Eliza. As they move away, Kate excuses herself as well, whispering in my ear, details, later, all of them, alone again. I turn to Aiden. Educational, huh? It seemed more appropriate than she's taught me the value of surrender. His eyes gleam with rare humor. Former business partner. James and I had different visions for the company. His expression clouds, and different ethical standards. And, Vanessa, he studies me. Jealousy, Eliza, that's new. Not jealousy. Curiosity. Curiosity. Liar. He says it gently, without accusation. Vanessa is James's wife now. Before that, she and I dated briefly. Very briefly. I see. Relief shouldn't feel this good. No, you don't. His hand remains at my back, warm and steady. Because there's nothing to see. What's between us is unique in my experience. The admission hangs between us, weighted with significance. I should keep circulating, I say reluctantly. Curator duties. Of course he steps back, maintaining professionalism. I'll wait. For how long? His eyes hold mine, understanding my real question. As long as it takes. The evening continues. I perform my professional obligations, hyper-aware of Aiden's presence as he moves through the gallery. Occasionally our eyes meet across the room. a silent communication passing between us. When the last guests finally depart, he remains, leaning against a wall, patient and steady. Successful evening, he says as I approach. I stop before him, close enough to feel his warmth. Thank you for coming. Thank you for creating something worth celebrating. He brushes a strand of hair from my face. I'm proud of you. The simple words touch something deep within me. Take me home. Your place, or mine. I consider yours. He nods, takes my hand. As we leave the gallery, his fingers intertwine with mine, a public acknowledgement of something private and precious. In the car, he asks, did it bother you? Seeing Vanessa a little, I admit. It made me realize how little I know about your past. Ask me anything, I'll answer. Another boundary falling, another step toward something neither of us planned. Later, I say, resting my head on his shoulder. Right now, I just want to be with you. His arm wraps around me, pulling me closer. That, he says softly, is something we agree on completely. We enter his penthouse differently this time. No careful distance, no pretense of formality. His hand guides me through the door. Then immediately he's pressing me against the wall, mouth claiming mine with an urgency that steals my breath. I've been wanting to do that all night, he murmurs against my lips. What stopped you? Your professional reputation. His hands frame my face, though I came close when Vanessa appeared. Territorial, Mr. Shaw, I tease, though the thought pleases me, surprisingly so. He sounds almost puzzled by his own reaction. I didn't like her touching you. She touched you, not me. Same difference. His admission sends warmth through me. He steps back, eyes darkening, as he studies me. You were magnificent tonight. Confident, commanding. Every eye in the room followed you, including yours, especially mine. He brushes a strand of hair from my face. I couldn't look away if I tried. The tenderness in his touch undoes me more than any passionate embrace could. This unguarded Aiden, allowing himself to feel, to express, he's more intoxicating than the dominant who first captivated me. What happens now? I ask softly. Now, he says, taking my hand, I show you something I've never shown anyone else. He leads me not to the bedroom, but down a different hallway. We stop before a door I've never noticed. He hesitates, key in hand. My private space, he explains, where I go when I need ... solitude. The fact that he's inviting me into this sanctuary isn't lost on me. I squeeze his hand, encouraging. He unlocks the door, pushes it open. Inside is nothing I could have expected. A studio, filled with light even at night, illuminated by carefully positioned lamps. Easels hold canvases in various stages of completion. Tables are scattered with paints, brushes, charcoals. The walls display finished pieces, abstract expressions of emotion in bold strokes and vibrant colors. You're an artist. I breathe, stunned. I paint, he corrects, for myself. No one else has seen these. I move through the space, absorbing his work. Each piece pulses with controlled emotion, passion, fighting restraint, feeling battling order, so perfectly Aiden. These are extraordinary, I say, stopping before a particularly striking canvas, deep blues and violets swirling around a core of fiery red. Why keep this hidden? He shrugs, uncomfortable with the praise. It's private, personal, the great Aiden Shaw, expressing emotion through art while denying it in life. I turn to him, understanding dawning. You never stopped feeling, did you? You just channeled it here, where it was safe. His expression confirms my insight. When did you start painting? After my father died. His voice is quiet. It was the only way I could process ... everything. I approach him, take his hands in mine. Thank you for showing me. I wanted you to see all of me. The admission costs him, not just the parts I control. I rise on tiptoes, kiss him softly. I see you, Aiden, all of you. Something releases in him. The last wall crumbling. He pulls me against him, kissing me with an abandon I've never felt from him before. No calculation, no restraint, just pure, unfiltered need. We don't make it to the bedroom. Here, among his art, his soul laid bare on canvas, we come together, with new urgency. Clothes discarded hastily, bodies pressing together on the small couch in the corner of the studio. This isn't about dominance or submission. This is equal need, equal giving. When he enters me, our eyes lock, a connection deeper than physical, Each movement, each touch communicates what neither of us is ready to say aloud. Eliza, he breathes against my skin, voice raw with emotion. You undo me. I hold him tighter, taking him deeper, wanting to merge completely. Let go, I whisper. I'll catch you. His control fractures. For the first time, he surrenders completely, body and soul. I follow him over the edge, our release simultaneous and shattering. Afterward, we lie tangled together, his heartbeat gradually slowing beneath my ear. His fingers trace patterns on my bare back. I've never brought anyone here, he says finally. Never wanted to. Why me? He's quiet so long, I think he won't answer. Then, because you make me want impossible things. Like what? Like a future I stopped believing in long ago. I prop myself up to see his face. That doesn't sound impossible to me, doesn't it? His expression is conflicted. Everything I've built in my life, my business, my arrangements is predicated on emotional distance, control, certainty, and I threaten that. You demolish it. No accusation in his tone, just wonder. With every smile, every challenge, every surrender, I touch his face, tracing the strong line of his jaw. Maybe what you're building now is better than what came before. Maybe. He captures my hand, presses a kiss to my palm. Or maybe I'm simply losing my mind. We can lose it together, I offer, smiling. His answering smile is small but genuine. I'd like that. He sits up suddenly. Decision made. I want to paint you. Now. I laugh, surprised. Now, just as you are. His eyes travel over my naked body with appreciation. Perfect. I've never modeled before. I've never wanted to capture anyone before. He stands, begins gathering supplies. Will you let me? The vulnerability in the question melts any hesitation. Yes. He positions me on the couch, arranges my body with gentle hands. Don't move. For the next hour, I watch him work, fascinated by this new side of him. His focus is absolute, yet different from his usual control. This is passion channeled, not emotion suppressed. When he finally steps back, I rise to see the result. On canvas, I'm transformed, rendered in soft blues and golds, body curved in sensual repose, expression dreamy, yet knowing, it's me, but as seen through his eyes, beautiful, powerful, desired. Is that how you see me? I ask, voice hushed. It's how you are. He sets down his brush, luminous, irresistible. I turn to him, emotion swelling in my chest. Aiden. He kisses me before I can finish, perhaps afraid of what I might say, perhaps not ready to hear it. Not yet. But as he leads me to his bedroom later, his hand tight around mine, I know we've crossed a threshold we can't return from. 6 weeks was our agreement. We're nearing the end. Neither of us mentions it. Days blur together. We've abandoned the 3-day schedule, seeing each other whenever possible. Sometimes at his penthouse, sometimes at my apartment, sometimes just for dinner, sometimes for the entire night. The dynamic between us shifts, constantly dominant and submissive in one moment, equals in the next. The boundaries of our original arrangement fading with each encounter. Tonight, I arrive at the penthouse to find Aiden on the phone, expression tense. He acknowledges me with a nod but continues his conversation, voice clipped. The terms are non-negotiable, James. No, I won't reconsider. This isn't about the money, and you know it. I move to the kitchen, giving him privacy while pouring myself wine. His voice rises slightly. Absolutely not. The sustainability requirements stay in the contract. I don't care what it costs. No, this isn't up for discussion. When he finally ends the call, his jaw is tight, shoulders rigid with tension. Problems? I ask. James, he says, as if that explains everything. Perhaps it does. He wants to cut corners on the harbor project. I thought he wasn't your partner anymore. He's not, but he still has connections with potential investors. Aiden pours himself a scotch, drinks half in one swallow. He thinks my environmental standards are excessive. I approach him, place a hand on his arm. And you disagree, vehemently. His eyes meet mine. Some things shouldn't be compromised. Not for profit, not for expediency. I agree. I take the glass from his hand, set it aside. You're tense. It's been a difficult day. Let me help. I begin massaging his shoulders, feeling the knots of tension. Tell me what you need. He's silent for a moment. Then, control. I need control. I understand immediately. After a day of fighting external battles, He needs the certainty of dominance, of being obeyed without question. Then take it, I say, simply. His eyes darken. Are you sure? Yes. He moves with sudden purpose, lifting me onto the kitchen counter. Don't move, he commands, voice dropping to that register that makes me shiver. I remain still as he unbuttons my blouse slowly, deliberately. His control is back, absolute, unwavering, yet different from our early encounters. There's emotion beneath the discipline now, desire tempered with genuine care. What's your word? He asks, always careful even in his dominance. Pine. Use it if you need to. He pushes the blouse from my shoulders. I'm not feeling gentle tonight. The warning sends heat pooling low in my belly. I don't need gentle. Something flashes in his eyes, gratitude, hunger. Stand up. I obey, sliding off the counter. He turns me around, pressing me forward until my palms rest on the cool marble surface. Stay just like that. His hands make quick work of my skirt, letting it fall to the floor. Then my underwear. His fingers trace the curve of my spine, then tangle in my hair, pulling gently but firmly to arch my neck. Mine, he murmurs against my exposed throat. Say it, yours, I whisper. What follows is raw, primal, nothing like our careful early encounters, nothing like the tender lovemaking in his studio. This is possession, pure and simple. His hands grip my hips with bruising intensity. His mouth marks my shoulder, my neck. When he enters me, the sensation is overwhelming pleasure, edged with exquisite pain. Okay, he manages to ask, even now, concerned for my comfort. Yes, I gasp. Don't stop. He doesn't, driving us both toward release with relentless precision. When it comes, it shatters me completely. His name a broken cry on my lips. He follows, seconds later, collapsing against me, both of us breathing hard, slowly, gently. He turns me in his arms, searching my face. Was I too rough? No, I assure him, touching his cheek. It was exactly what I needed to. Relief floods his expression. He lifts me again, carries me to the bedroom, lays me on the bed with surprising tenderness given our previous intensity. Let me check you for bruises, he says, examining my hips, my wrists, concern evident. I'm fine, Aiden, better than fine. He nods, but continues his careful inspection, pressing a kiss to each place his fingers gripped too tightly. What happened? With James Glask as he stretches out beside me, beyond the environmental standards. He sighs, pulling me against him. We were partners for 8 years, built the company together. Then I discovered he was cutting corners on safety regulations for our Asian projects, using substandard materials, bribing inspectors. That's illegal and unethical. His voice hardens. I confronted him. He claimed it was standard practice in those markets. That I was naive. What did you do? Bought him out, reported the violations, rebuilt the compromised structures at my own expense. His arms tighten around me. It nearly bankrupted the company, cost millions. But I couldn't live with the alternative. The alternative? Someone getting hurt because we valued profit over safety. His voice drops. I couldn't have another death on my conscience. Your father, I say softly, understanding. I couldn't save him, but I could make sure no one died because of something I built. He's silent for a moment. James never forgave me. Said I betrayed him. You did the right thing. I know. His certainty is absolute, but now he's trying to interfere with the harbor project. Telling investors I'm difficult, uncompromising. You are uncompromising, I say, smiling against his chest. It's one of your best qualities. He chuckles, the sound rumbling beneath my ear. Only you would see it that way. Not true. The right investors will respect your principles, perhaps. His hand strokes my hair. I have the Preservation Society meeting tomorrow. Taking your advice about showing the human behind the corporation, you'll be wonderful. I prop myself up to look at him. Just be honest about your passion for the project. Honesty. He smiles slightly. Rule number 1. Always. I kiss him softly, especially between us. His expression sobers. Eliza, there's something we need to discuss. My heart stutters. What? Our arrangement. The 6-week timeline. His eyes hold mine. Tomorrow marks the end. I'd been avoiding thinking about it, though I knew the date approached. According to our original agreement, tomorrow would be our final meeting. I pull away slightly, suddenly cold despite his warmth. Is that what you want? No. The word emerges forcefully. But I need to know what you want. I want you, I say, simply. with or without an arrangement, with or without rules and schedules. Relief floods his expression. Good, because I find I'm reluctant to let you go. Just reluctant, I tease. Heart lightening. Incapable, he corrects, pulling me back against him. Completely incapable of letting you go. It's not a declaration of love, but from Aiden Shaw, it might as well be. So what now? I ask. A contract extension, no more contracts. His voice is certain, no more arrangements. Just us, figuring it out together. That sounds frighteningly undefined for a man who loves control. Terrifying, he agrees, but necessary. I smile against his chest. I'll help you through the uncertainty. I'm counting on it. His arms tighten around me. Stay tonight. I always do now. No. He tilts my face up to his. Stay tomorrow, too. And the day after. Move in with me, Eliza. The request startles me. That's a big step. Too big. I consider it, this sudden leap forward. Maybe we should try a drawer first. Some clothes, a toothbrush. He smiles, understanding my caution. A drawer. Then, for now, I agree. Settling back against him, we fall silent, both processing this shift in our relationship. No more arrangement, no more timeline, just possibilities stretching before us, undefined but full of promise. His breathing slows, deepens. Just before he drifts into sleep, he murmurs against my hair, I never expected you, Eliza Winters. Is that good or bad? I whisper. Life-changing, he answers simply, pulling me closer as sleep claims him. I lie awake longer, watching his face in repose. The man who doesn't believe in love, making room for me in his carefully ordered life. Tomorrow marks the end of one journey, and the beginning of another. Morning comes with unfamiliar normalcy. Aiden wakes first, returns with coffee. We share the newspaper, discuss our plans for the day. Him, the Preservation Society meeting. Me, a potential new artist for the gallery. It feels domestic, comfortable. Nothing like the carefully orchestrated encounters of our first weeks together. I could get used to this, I admit, stealing a section of the paper from him. He looks up, expression softening. So could I, surprisingly. The great Aiden Shaw, enjoying mundane domesticity. Alert the media. He smiles, reaching across the table. To take my hand, only with you. The simple admission warms me more than the coffee. What time is your meeting? 11. He checks his watch. I should get ready. Want company for moral support. He considers this, head tilted slightly. Yes, he says, sounding surprised at his own answer. I would. 2 hours later, we enter a conference room in the Historical Society's offices. Aiden, in his element impeccable suit, commanding presence. Me beside him, offering silent support. The society members, mostly older, all passionate about preservation, regard him with open suspicion. I've seen the preliminary meeting notes. They've rejected his proposal twice already. Mr. Shaw, the chairwoman begins. I'm not sure what you hope to accomplish with this meeting. Our position remains unchanged. I understand your concerns, Mrs. Holloway, Aiden responds, voiced respectful but firm. I'm here because I believe we share the same fundamental goal, preserving the heritage of this building while ensuring its future, by gutting its interior. An elderly gentleman challenges by adapting it for modern use while honoring its history. Aiden nods to his assistant, who distributes folders. These are the revised plans. You'll see we've maintained even more of the original structure than previously proposed. As the members review the materials, Aiden continues, the Wellington factory was once the heart of this neighborhood. It provided jobs, purpose, community. My goal is to restore that role, not as a manufacturing facility, but as a mixed-use space that serves today's community. I watch him speak, passion evident beneath his controlled exterior. This is Aiden at his best, principled, articulate, unwavering in his vision. The easy path would be demolition. He tells them, build something entirely new, maximize profit. But that's not what this building deserves, not what this community deserves. He moves to a large display board, unveils detailed renderings of the proposed renovation. Even the skeptical members lean forward, interest piqued. The ground floor becomes public space, a market for local vendors, exhibition areas for community artists, gathering spaces. He points to different sections. The original machinery, restored and preserved as historical exhibits. The upper floors, affordable housing and offices for local nonprofits. Mrs. Holloway frowns. this is significantly different from your previous proposal. Yes, Aiden acknowledges, because I listened to your concerns, incorporated your expertise. For the next hour, he answers questions, addresses objections, demonstrates his knowledge of the building's history and significance. I watched the committee's resistance gradually soften as they recognize his genuine commitment. One final question. Mr. Shaw, Mrs. Holloway says, why this building? With your resources, you could develop anywhere. Why fight so hard for this particular project? Aiden is silent for a moment, considering, then he looks at me briefly before answering. My grandfather worked in that factory for 30 years, he says quietly. He told me stories about it when I was a child. How it was more than a workplace, was a community. When I learned it was slated for demolition, I knew I had to save it. The personal revelation surprises me as much as the committee. This isn't in any of the briefing materials. This is Aiden, sharing something private. I believe buildings, like people, deserve second chances. He continues, the Wellington has stood empty for decades. It deserves to live again, to serve the community again, just in a new way. The mood in the room shifts perceptibly. Mrs. Holloway studies him with new respect. We'll need to review the revised plans in detail, she says finally. But speaking personally, Mr. Shaw, I find your vision, compelling. Aiden nods, knowing this is as close to approval as he'll get today. Thank you for your consideration. As the meeting concludes, committee members approach him individually, asking questions, offering suggestions. He listens to each with genuine attention, jotting notes, thanking them for their input. When we finally leave, he exhales deeply. That went better than expected. You were brilliant, I tell him, squeezing his hand. They couldn't help but see your passion. I took your advice, showed the human behind the corporation. The grandfather's story, was that true? His expression turns sheepish. No, complete fabrication. I laugh, surprised. Aiden Shaw, lying. What happened to honesty is rule number 1. Strategic omission of the truth. He corrects, smiling slightly. Sometimes people need a personal connection to understand why something matters. And why does it matter to you, really? He considers this as we walk to his car. Because preservation, without purpose, is decay. Buildings, like people, need function, purpose, community. He glances at me. I told you about my mother after my father died, how she became a ghost, present but empty. I nod, understanding dawning. You see the same in the building. I see potential being wasted, he confirms, and I can't bear it. I kiss him impulsively, right there on the sidewalk. His surprise gives way to response, arms encircling me. What was that for? He asks when we part. For being exactly who you are. I touch his face, principled, passionate, complicated. His expression softens. Let's go home. The word hangs between us, weighted with new meaning. Home. Together. Back at the penthouse, we move differently around each other. That day's events have shifted something between us. Watching Aiden fight for his vision, compromise without sacrificing principle, it's revealed yet another layer of the complex man I'm falling for. I need to check some emails, he says, loosening his tie. Won't take long, take your time. I brought work to. We settle in comfortable silence, him at his desk, me curled on the sofa with gallery paperwork, domestic, natural, as if we've been doing this for years, rather than weeks. An hour passes this way, the quiet punctuated only by the occasional comment or question. Then his phone rings. His expression darkens as he answers. Yes, James, I just left the meeting. His voice cools. No, that wasn't the agreement. I try not to listen, focusing on my work, but his tone sharpens, drawing my attention. Absolutely not. His knuckles whiten around the phone. I won't compromise on this. Whatever James says next makes Aiden stand abruptly. You had no right to make that offer without consulting me. More words from the other end. Aiden's jaw clenches. This conversation is over. He ends the call, tosses the phone onto his desk with barely controlled anger. Problem? I asked cautiously. James went behind my back, made an offer to the Preservation Society, full restoration of the exterior, in exchange for fewer affordable housing units and more luxury condos. His voice vibrates with suppressed rage. Completely undermined everything I presented today. Can he do that? He still has connections on the board of investors, and apparently, he's been working them behind the scenes. Aiden runs a hand through his hair, a rare gesture of frustration. He knows the housing component matters to me. I approach him, place a hand on his arm. What will you do? Fight him again? Wariness enters his tone. It's all we ever do now. Why does he keep challenging you? Aiden's expression darkens, because he can't stand that I succeeded without him, that I rebuilt the company stronger after his exit, that I was right about the ethical violations. I consider this, thinking of the dynamic I witnessed between them at the gallery. Is that all? He looks at me sharply. What do you mean? The way he looked at you, at us, at the exhibition. It seemed ... personal. Aiden is silent for a long moment. James and I were more than business partners once. Before Vanessa. Before I understood what kind of man he really was. The revelation surprises me. You were together. Briefly. Years ago. His expression closes. It ended badly. When you discovered the ethical violations. Before that, he wanted more than I could give. Aiden's voice turns distant. I don't do love. Remember? James couldn't accept that. Understanding dawns, and now he's married to Vanessa, who pursued me first. Aiden shakes his head. It's all very incestuous and tedious. So this is revenge. Professional and personal, essentially. He pulls me against him suddenly, arms tight around me. I'm sorry to involve you in my complicated history. I'm not afraid of complicated. I rest my head against his chest, hearing his heartbeat. I'm not afraid of your past. No, he murmurs into my hair. You're not afraid of anything, are you? Only one thing. What's that? I pull back to meet his gaze. Losing this. Losing you. Something flickers in his eyes. Vulnerability. Need. Something deeper he's not ready to name. That, he says quietly, is not something you need to fear. He kisses me then, gentle at first, then with growing intensity. We move to the bedroom, without discussion, shedding clothes, barriers, pretenses. This time is different again. No dominance or submission. No roles or rules, just two people connecting, communicating through touch what words can't yet express. After lying tangled together, his fingers trace patterns on my skin. Move in with me, he says suddenly. Not just a drawer, all of it. I prop myself up to see his face. Are you sure? More sure than I've been about anything. His expression is open, vulnerable. I want you here, Elisa, with me, always. The word always hangs between us, heavy with implication. From a man who doesn't believe in forever, it's monumental. Yes, I whisper, joy bubbling through me. Yes, his answering smile is radiant, transforming his usually serious features. He pulls me close, kisses me deeply. We'll figure out the details tomorrow, he says. For now, just stay. I'm not going anywhere, I promise. Settling against him. Night falls around us. I listen to his breathing deepen, feel the rise and fall of his chest beneath my cheek. This complicated, principled man who claimed not to believe in love, making room for me in his life, in his home, in his heart. Maybe he still doesn't believe in love, but he believes in us, for now. That's enough. Moving in happens gradually. Over the next week, my clothes migrate to his closet. My books find spaces on his shelves. My favorite mug appears beside his in the kitchen cabinet. Small integrations of our lives, each one significant. Aiden approaches the process with characteristic precision. He clears exactly half the closet space, installs additional shelving from my books, adapts his rigid morning routine to accommodate my presence. You don't have to change everything for me, I tell him, as he rearranges his bathroom to make room. For my cosmetics, I want to, he says simply. This isn't just my space anymore. The sentiment warms me deeply. From a man who's lived alone for years, maintaining strict control over his environment. This willingness to share, to adapt. Volumes. Tonight, we're celebrating the completion of the move with dinner at the penthouse. I arrive from the gallery to find him in the kitchen, sleeves rolled up, preparing something that smells divine. You cook? I ask, surprised. I contain multitudes, he replies with a rare touch of humor. Wine. I accept the glass he offers, watching him move efficiently around the kitchen. Any word from the Preservation Society? His expression clouds slightly. They're reviewing both proposals. Mine and James's. I'm sorry, I touch his arm. After how well the meeting went. Business, he says with a shrug that doesn't quite hide his disappointment. Sometimes the best vision doesn't win. Your vision will win, I say with conviction. It's better, more community-focused, we'll see. He returns to cooking, changing the subject. How was your day? Productive. The new exhibition is coming together. And I spoke with my landlord about subletting my apartment. He looks up sharply. You're keeping it? Just temporarily. 3-month sublet while we ... I hesitate. While we see how this goes. Something flickers in his eyes, hurt, quickly masked. You're hedging your bets. I'm being practical. I meet his gaze steadily. This is a big change, Aiden. For both of us. He's silent for a moment, then nods once. Fair enough. We eat dinner on the balcony, the city spread below us. The slight tension from earlier dissipates as we talk, laugh, share stories from our days. This is what I've come to easy companionship between intense moments of passion. After dinner, he disappears briefly, returns with a small box. What's this? I ask as he places it before me. A housewarming gift. Of sorts. I open it to find a key, simple, silver, attached to a leather fob embossed with my initials. You already gave me a key, I say, confused. Not to the penthouse. His expression is uncharacteristically nervous. To my beach house on the coast. I thought, perhaps this weekend, The invitation touches me deeply. Another private space he's opening to me. I'd love that. His smile is worth any uncertainty I might feel about our rapid progression. Good. We'll leave Friday after work. Later, as we prepare for bed and other domestic ritual that still feels novel, my phone buzzes with a text from Kate. Drinks tomorrow. Need details on cohabitation with Mr. Discipline. I smile, typing a quick response. When I look up, Aiden is watching me, expression thoughtful. Katie asks, yes, she wants to interrogate me about moving in with you. And what will you tell her? I consider this, setting down my phone, that it feels right, surprising but right. He crosses to me, takes my face in his hands. It does, doesn't it? Yes. I lean into his touch, though I'm still keeping my apartment for now. A shadow crosses his features, quickly banished. Prudent. Not because I don't believe in this, I clarify, needing him to understand, but because we both need space to adjust. To be sure, I am sure. His certainty is absolute. I've never been more sure of anything, Aiden. No, listen. His thumbs stroke my cheeks gently. I understand your caution, respect it even. But I need you to know that for me, there's no uncertainty, no hesitation. I want you here, not temporarily, not as an experiment, permanently. The declaration steals my breath. That's a lot. Too much. I search his face, finding nothing but sincerity. No, just unexpected. I'm not good at half measures, Elisa. His lips quirk slightly, as you may have noticed. I had picked up on that, yes. I wrap my arms around his waist. Give me the 3 months. Let me sublet rather than give up my apartment entirely. If we're still certain, then ... we will be. His confidence is unwavering, but I can be patient. He kisses me then, deep and thorough, ending the discussion. We move to the bed, falling into now familiar patterns of give and take, dominance and surrender blending seamlessly. Afterward, lying in his arms, I traced the scar along his ribs. You never told me how you got this. Sailing accident when I was 20. His hand covers mine. Boom, swung unexpectedly during a storm. You sail. Used to. Haven't in years. His voice turns thoughtful. The beach house has a small sailboat. Perhaps this weekend ... I'd like that. I press a kiss to the scar. Though I have minimal sailing experience, I'll teach you. His arms tighten around me. There's something freeing about being on the water, controlling what you can, surrendering to what you can't. Sounds like a metaphor for life, for us. He chuckles, the sound rumbling beneath my ear. Perhaps it is. We fall silent, comfortable in the quiet intimacy of the moment. Then, softly, he says, thank you. For what? For being patient with me, with my ... limitations. I prop myself up to see his face. What limitations? His expression turns serious. Emotional ones. I'm not. I don't express things easily. You express plenty. I trace his lips with my finger. Maybe not in words, but in actions. In the way you touch me. Look at me. Make room for me in your life. Relief softens his features. You understand me better than anyone ever has. That works both ways. I settle back against him. Now, sleep. We both have early meetings tomorrow. His breathing gradually deepens, body relaxing into sleep. I remain awake a little longer, absorbing the reality of this new life we're building. A man who doesn't believe in love, yet shows it in countless ways. A woman who's always believed in love, finding it where she least expected, and 3 months to convince him that what we've found has a name. After all, the beach house is nothing like I expected. No modernist glass box, no more sleek minimalism. Instead, it's a weathered shingled cottage perched on dunes overlooking the ocean, cozy lived in, almost rustic. This was my grandfather's, Aiden explains as he unlocks the door. The only thing I kept exactly as it was after my parents died. The significance of this isn't lost on me. Another piece of himself he's sharing, another layer revealed. Inside is simple but comfortable, overstuffed furniture, faded rugs, bookshelves crammed with well-worn paperbacks. A stone fireplace dominates one wall. Large windows frame the ocean view. It's beautiful, I say, meaning it. It's honest. He sets our bags down. No pretense here. I explore while he opens windows, letting in the salt-tinged breeze. The kitchen is dated but functional. 2 bedrooms, a bathroom with a clawfoot tub. Nothing fancy, nothing designed to impress. Just genuine comfort. You're surprised, he observes, watching my expression. It's different from the penthouse. This is where I come when I need to remember who I am beneath the suits and schedules. He moves to the back deck, gestures for me to follow. When the control becomes too constricting, the deck overlooks a private stretch of beach. Steps lead down to the sand, where a small sailboat rests on a trailer. You really do sail, I say, spotting it. I really do. He wraps his arms around me from behind, chin resting on my head. Tomorrow, if the weather holds, we spend the evening simply being together. He grills fish on the deck. We share wine, watching the sunset paint the water gold and crimson. Later, he builds a fire against the evening chill, and we curl together on the worn sofa. You're different here, I observe, studying his relaxed posture, the softness around his eyes. Less armor needed. His fingers trace patterns on my arm. No one to impress. Nothing to prove. I like you without armor. His smile is gentle. I'm beginning to as well. Later, in the bedroom that was once his grandfather's, our lovemaking is unhurried, tender, no power dynamics, no control or surrender, just connection. Deep and true. Morning brings perfect sailing weather, clear skies, steady breeze. Aiden transforms on the water, movements confident, expression peaceful. He teaches me basic techniques with patient instruction, never assuming control when I falter, just guiding gently. You're a natural, he says, as I successfully navigate a turn. I have a good teacher. We spend hours on the water, the rhythmic slap of waves against the hull, the whisper of wind in the sails, creating a perfect backdrop to easy conversation. I never brought anyone here before, he admits as we head back to shore. Not even James, when we were together. The significance of this isn't lost on me. Thank you for sharing it with me. It felt right. His hand covers mine on the tiller. You feel right, Eliza, here, with me, back at the cottage. As evening approaches, his phone rings. The screen shows James. Aiden's expression tightens, but he answers, yes. His voice immediately reverts to its business tone. I see. When a pause, no, that won't be necessary. I'll handle it. Another pause. Monday morning is fine. He ends the call, tension radiating from him. What is it? I asked. The Preservation Society wants to meet. Monday morning. His jaw tightens. They've made their decision. That's good, isn't it? Resolution either way. James sounded ... pleased. The implication hangs heavy. He wouldn't be if they'd chosen my proposal. I move to him, place my hands on his chest. You don't know that for certain. I know, James. Bitterness edges his voice. He wouldn't call to deliver good news. Even if they choose his proposal, you can still fight. Appeal. He shakes his head. If they've decided, it's done. His hands cover mine. I'm sorry. I don't want this to ruin our weekend. It won't. I rise on tiptoes, kiss him softly. Let's put it aside until Monday. He tries. Through dinner, through another sunset on the deck, he makes effort to be present. But the call has cast a shadow, his thoughts clearly elsewhere. As night falls, I draw him a bath in the old clawfoot tub. Get in, I instruct gently. Relax. Surprisingly, he complies without argument. I undress, slip into the water behind him, pulling his back against my chest. My hands work the tension from his shoulders, his neck. Talk to me, I murmur against his ear. Tell me why this project matters so much. He's silent so long I think he won't answer. Then, it's not just about the building. I know, it's about ... He searches for words, purpose, meaning, creating something that lasts, that serves others. I wait, hands still working his tight muscles. After my father died, everything seemed pointless, temporary. His voice turns distant, remembering. I watched my mother fade away, living but not alive. Saw how quickly a life could unravel, and the building, it's still standing after a century, still has potential, still matters. His hand covers mine. I want to give it new purpose, new life. Show that nothing is beyond redemption if you care enough to try. The parallel to his own life, his own heart, is unmistakable, though he doesn't acknowledge it. You will, I promise, kissing his shoulder, whether it's this building or another. Maybe. He sounds unconvinced. Or maybe James wins again. This isn't about James, isn't it? He turns slightly to see my face. He's determined to prove I need him. That my principles make me weak. Your principles make you strong. I counter, worth believing in. Something shifts in his expression. You believe in me, completely. He turns fully then, water sloshing over the tub's edge, and kisses me with unexpected intensity. Come to bed, he murmurs against my lips. We barely dry ourselves before tumbling onto the bed, hands everywhere, mouths hungry. This isn't the tender lovemaking of the previous night. This is need, raw and urgent. His usual control fractures completely as he moves within me. My name, a broken litany on his lips. After, when our breathing slows, he gathers me close, face buried in my hair. I don't deserve you, he whispers. Don't say that. I pull back to see his face. You deserve everything, Aiden. Everything good, everything real, even love. The question emerges so quietly I almost miss it. My heart stutters, especially love. His expression is painfully vulnerable, more exposed than I've ever seen him. I don't know if I can ever say the words you deserve to hear. Words are just words. I touch his face. Actions matter more. And if my actions aren't enough, they are. I kiss him softly. They have been from the beginning. He holds me tighter, as if afraid I might disappear. We fall asleep, tangled together, his heartbeat steady beneath my cheek. In the morning, I wake to find him gone from the bed. Panic flutters briefly, until I spot him on the deck, phone pressed to his ear. His posture is rigid, face set in harsh lines even from this distance. I dress quickly, join him outside. As I approach, he ends the call, turns to me with an expression. I can't read. What's happened? I ask. That was my assistant. His voice is carefully controlled. The Preservation Society meeting has been moved up. They want to see me today. Today, but we're not supposed to leave until this afternoon. You can stay. Take the car later. His tone is distant, already shifting into business mode. I've called for a car to take me back to the city. I'll come with you. He shakes his head. No need to cut your weekend short, Aiden. I take his hands, making him focus on me. We're in this together. I'm coming with you. Something flickers in his eyes, gratitude, relief, thank you. As we hurriedly pack, as we drive back to the city in silence, I feel the walls rebuilding around him, the armor returning, the Aiden of the beach cottage receding behind the controlled facade of Aiden Shaw. Businessman, yet when his hand finds mine across the car's center console, gripping tightly, I know the truth. The man who doesn't believe in love is terrified of losing what matters, not just the building, not just a project, but his heart. Finally awakening after years of careful dormancy. The Preservation Society offices are quiet on Sunday afternoon. Only a security guard at the entrance, a few key members waiting in the conference room. Mrs. Holloway, 2 board members, and James, leaning against the wall with barely concealed satisfaction. Aiden, his greeting is smooth, professional. Then his gaze shifts to me. Ms. Winters, I didn't realize this was a joint presentation. It's not, Aiden replies tersely. Eliza is here for support. James's smile doesn't reach his eyes. How ... domestic. Shall we begin? Mrs. Holloway interrupts, gesturing to the table. We appreciate you coming on short notice, Mr. Shaw. Of course. Aiden takes a seat, posture perfect, expression controlled. I sit beside him, close enough that our arms brush. Mrs. Holloway clears her throat. We've reviewed both proposals extensively, consulted with community leaders, financial experts, historical preservation specialists. Aiden nods, waiting. His hand finds mine under the table, gripping tightly. Both proposals have merit, she continues. Both preserve the exterior historical elements. Both revitalize a long-abandoned property. James straightens, sensing victory. Aiden's grip tightens. However, Mrs. Holloway turns to James. Mr. Harlow's proposal, while financially sound, lacks community integration. The luxury condominium model would price out current neighborhood residents, create gentrification without inclusion. James's smile falters, whereas Mr. Shaw's proposal, she continues, turning to Aiden, balances commercial viability with community needs, affordable housing, public spaces, historical education components. Hope flickers in Aiden's eyes, quickly suppressed. The society has decided to approve Mr. Shaw's proposal, with minor modifications we can discuss in detail tomorrow. The tension drains from Aiden's body. James pushes off the wall, expression darkening. You're making a mistake, he says to Mrs. Holloway. Shaw's proposal will barely break even. The investors have already been consulted, she interrupts firmly. They've agreed to the revised financial projections, understanding that community goodwill and tax incentives offset the reduced luxury component. James turns to Aiden, fury barely contained. You went to the investors directly. After you did the same, Aiden's voice is calm, controlled. I simply presented the complete picture. This isn't over. James gathers his materials. The board of directors has approved the plan. Aiden finishes this morning, unanimously. James stares at him, jaw clenched. Then, without another word, he strides from the room. The meeting continues, details discussed, minor adjustments negotiated. Through it all, Aiden remains professional, focused. Only I feel the slight tremor in his hand beneath the table, the barely perceptible relief in his voice. When we finally leave, he waits until we're in the car to exhale deeply, tension visibly leaving his body. Congratulations, I say, squeezing his hand. Thank you. He turns to me, genuine smile breaking through. For coming with me, for believing it could work. I always believed in your vision. I touch his face. In you. He captures my hand, presses a kiss to my palm. Let's go home, home. The word resonates between us. Back at the penthouse, he immediately pours 2 glasses of champagne, hands one to me. To victory, he says, touching his glass to mine. To you, I counter. And your principles. We drink, the moment sweet, with triumph. Then he sets down his glass, takes mine, places it beside his hands frame my face, expression suddenly serious. I need to tell you something. My heart stutters. What? When James called yesterday, when I thought I'd lost the project, he hesitates, searching for words. I realized something. The building mattered, the principle mattered, but they weren't what I feared, losing most. I wait, barely breathing. On the drive back today, watching you beside me, supporting me without question, ... double quotes. His thumbs stroke my cheeks gently. I realized I've been lying, to myself, to you. About what? About not believing in love. His voice drops lower. I think perhaps I always believed in it. I just feared it, feared what it could do to me if I let it in. My heart races. And now I'm more afraid of not saying it than saying it. His eyes hold mine, vulnerable yet certain. I love you, Eliza. I think I have from the first moment, though I fought it with everything in me. Joy bubbles through me, sweet and overwhelming. Say it again. A smile touches his lips. I love you, completely, irrationally, against all my careful plans and principles. I love you too. The words flow easily, naturally. I have for weeks. He kisses me then, deep and thorough, pouring everything he feels into the connection. When we part, breathless, he rests his forehead against mine. Move in, he whispers, completely. No sublet, no safety net, just us, figuring it out, together, yes. No hesitation now. Yes, later, much later, we lie tangled in sheets, bodies sated, hearts full. His fingers trace lazy patterns on my bare back. What changed your mind? I ask. About love. He considers this expression thoughtful. You did, your patience, your challenge, the way you never tried to force me into something I wasn't ready for, and now you're ready. Now I can't imagine any other way to be. His arms tighten around me. You've taught me that control isn't safety, that surrender isn't weakness. What is it then? Freedom. He kisses my forehead. The freedom to be exactly who I am, with someone who sees me completely. I settle against him, listening to his heartbeat, even the parts you try to hide, especially those parts. His voice rumbles beneath my ear. You saw through the discipline to the man beneath, saw what I needed before I could admit it myself. And what was that connection? Purpose beyond work. Someone to challenge me. Someone to surrender to. His hand strokes my hair. Someone to love. The words still sound new on his lips, slightly hesitant but gaining confidence with each repetition. I can't promise I'll always be good at this, he admits. Old habits, old fears. I don't need perfection. I prop myself up to see his face. I just need you, as you are. Relief softens his features. You have me, completely. Morning finds us still wrapped together, his body curled protectively around mine. I wake to his kiss on my shoulder, his arms tightening briefly before he slips from the bed. Stay, I murmur, reaching for him. Meeting with the Preservation Society, he reminds me gently, the real one this time. I open my eyes fully, finding him already half-dressed. Will James be there? Probably. It doesn't matter. He sits on the edge of the bed, touches my cheek. Nothing he says or does can touch what matters now. And what's that? This. He gestures between us. Us. What we're building together. A life. Yes. He smiles, the expression transforming his serious features. A life built on something stronger than discipline. Love, I supply. Love, he agrees. The word now flowing easily. Who would have thought? I did. I capture his hand, press a kiss to his palm, from the beginning. He laughs softly, the sound still rare enough to delight me. Wiser than me, as usual. Later, after he's gone to his meeting, I wander the Penthauser home now, truly and completely. In his studio, I find the painting of me, now prominently displayed rather than tucked away. Beside it, a new canvas, just begun. Bold strokes, of red and gold, vibrant with life and energy. On the corner, in his precise handwriting, a title, Surrender. I smile, understanding the layers of meaning. For a man who once equated surrender with weakness, who built his life around control and discipline, this is a profound statement. My phone buzzes with a text from him. Meeting going well. Dinner tonight to celebrate, I reply. Perfect. I love you. His response comes immediately. I love you too. Always. The man who doesn't believe in love, transformed by allowing himself to feel it. The woman who always believed, finding it where she least expected. Together. Discovering that true discipline isn't about control, it's about the courage to surrender completely to love.